back is ready for Saturday, you think?
It appears that way. Talked to him today, felt really good. So barring anything out of the ordinary, should be good.
He's not the same player he once was, but what does he bring to the operation, the bench, when he's in the lineup?
Well, I mean, on ice, we've moved him from center, or from wing to center this year, which I think helped us early on. We're sorting through that. I think Nordy's gone in and done a nice job for us there, so maybe we found something. I think he's good with the younger guys. Certainly when he plays with them, he'll pull them aside and walk through situational details. I'm not privy to every one of those conversations, but so I just like the fact that he is trying to bring him under their wing. That's part of him probably being a captain in the past. I think he's pretty vocal on the bench, which helps some nights. We're generally a quiet team, so it falls on the staff to bring that energy, so that's good in that department. And then on ice this year too, he's killed more penalties than he did last year. I thought he did a good job with that. Him and Crowley were a pair, and we're starting to find some chemistry. So the physical part of it, it's tougher at today's game. No matter who you are, whether you're old or young, it's more of a challenge to apply clean hits nowadays. So I give Noel a lot of credit. He's pretty good at staying under the radar in that area.
Coach, TUUKKA last year, a couple of Octobers before that, he's had kind of so-so Octobers. Do you see anything different about this, or is it just sort of the same of what you've seen in the past?
Well, I can speak to the recent past, obviously. I didn't follow him as closely like 5-6 years ago, so some similarities. He's admittedly said he was a little slower out of the gate. Well, why is that? So we've talked about the end of last year. Was that a factor of conditioning in the summer? Or is that just part of how you play? And I don't know if we'll ever know the answer to that, but we're going to control what we can control, so we've asked him to step up that part of it so that he's ready to go in October. I mean, I don't think you want to peak in October, but you need to be on, especially in that position. Now, we were fortunate this year. Halak's come in and done a real good job, so we're able to allow him time to hopefully have, like his past, have good Novembers and Decembers. December. I know November's have historically been very good, so I guess I shouldn't get too far ahead of this here.
Last year, when you went to Hudobin for a few games in a row there, you see that happening right now with Halak?
Well, it is, right? I mean, he played Tuesday. He played, 3 of the last 4? Is that Thursday, Philly? You guys got to help me with this.
I think it was like 5. I think it was 5 in the last 7.
Right, okay, so maybe not 4 in a row, but more than not. So that's... And we said we would do that if we felt that one was clearly ahead of the other, and I think Halak has been better than TUUKKA. So he's got a few more, he's got a few more starts than we originally scheduled or script.
Big picture, how would you assess the first 12 games here?
Well, the record is good. I think it's funny because we were talking about that this morning. We're sitting there thinking we could be better in a lot of areas, yet our record is pretty solid considering 3 of our top 6 D probably were out for stretches. Kevin, Torrey, now Charlie, Grizz. You could make an argument he might have been out anyway if we had 7 healthy, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of guys that play minutes. TUUKKA wasn't on his game, but we got Halak to come in. We're still searching for certain pieces up in our lineup in the third line center and some secondary scoring yet. The record, reflects that we're doing enough to win hockey games now. So going forward, I'd like to think if we straighten away some of those issues, that it'll be even better. So I guess the overall assessment is on paper very good, but the product we know that we can improve, and we're trying to identify areas. So, but then you see guys like Danton and maybe Bjork that aren't scoring; they're still plus players. So they're obviously growing their game away from the puck, and they're not hurting us. So that's a sign of maturity to me for those players that. Even though they're not scoring, they're not going out there and betting the farm or risking the farm every time they get on the ice just to get a number or a goal or 2. So I like that. That's credit to the leadership group, and I think a credit to them for accepting what's in front of them and bringing at least their B game. We talk about A and B games.
So you're good with that so-called sophomore, not slump, but...
I'm not good with it. We're working every day with those guys, but I like the fact they're not hurting us away from the puck. That's part of progress. And I think to assume they're not gonna score after 12 games is, I think it's inappropriate to do that for us, so we don't want it. We wanna find why aren't they? We've kind of put them aside here where you need to be heavier on a puck in the O-zone so you get a second chance. That's when teams are tired. Or maybe you gotta separate a little better here with using your body like Marshy did, you know, with the goal he scored the other night. There's some certain areas of their game where or think shot more. There's a number of different things we throw at them, but at the end of the day, we don't want you to lose your game away from the puck if it's not following you, because now you're hurting the team. And so, no, we understand as part of the sophomore, but I think they're going to come out of it quicker if they're better all-around players, because they're going to get on the ice. You know, if they're hurt, it's not getting on the ice, they'll never come out of it. So they're out there, and you can see it with Dan now. I think the other day the puck's falling a little more, and I think it's something to do with his habits.
How welcome was it to see Marshy shoot the puck more the other night, and how important is that just to him being effective?
You know, eventually, it just, I've known Brad a long time, he's going to shoot eventually, right? So you figured that would come back. And hopefully he finds the right balance. But I think he knows that Pasta's hot and Bergie's hot right now. So, hey, he's going to be the playmaker in the line for a while. I think that, honestly, between those three, that could switch all year, every 3 weeks. Who does the pass and who does the scoring, because they can do both. That's why I think people talk about their 200-foot game, but I think they don't talk enough about each one's ability to score and make plays. You know, if you shut one down, take a shot away, he's going to make a play, and the next guy can bury it. So I think that's why one of the most, if not the most dangerous line in the league.
So they're going to be a line next game?
They are going to be a line, yeah.
Is there a concern with McAvoy that this may be longer term than initially expected?
Well, it's stretched out a little now, so I didn't know when it first happened. We had no idea. I think we related that, and we still don't to a certain extent. So, yeah, there's a bit of concern. I mean, he's a 20-year-old, and you want him to be healthy and in the lineup, A, for selfish reasons, because he's one of our top defensemen, but for his own well-being at that age. I'm sure all he wants to do is get up and go to the rink and play every day. So, hopefully, you know, whatever it is, you know, turns the corner, and sooner rather than later for his sake and ours.
Still hasn't been on the ice.
No, not on the ice. Burgo wasn't on the ice today. They were both in here, but I didn't go on the ice. Grizz skated better, but without being in a team practice, I'd list them as, you know, questionable for Saturday. Could play, I guess. We'll see if he joins us tomorrow. With the other two not being on the ice, that they won't be on Saturday.
Are the other two working out at all, or is it just
Yeah,
okay?
they're in the gym. I saw them in there.
Is Halak going to go Saturday?
I'll let you know tomorrow. I usually do the day ahead of time, so we've talked with both goalies about the upcoming schedule. Give you something to think about for 24 hours.
Take two more?
You look at Nashville's D there. I mean, some could argue maybe the best top four in the league there. What
That's
do
a
they?
fair argument, yeah.
What do you see there? What's so great about their team?
Two-way play. They all get up the ice, have the ability to score, join the rush, and still defend, move the puck. Just good all around. There's no weaknesses in their game. Those four guys. I guess you'd say Ellis maybe undersized in battles, but he's a pretty strong guy. So I wouldn't even put him in that. They're just good, solid hockey players that will play with the lead. They'll be on the ice, and if they're chasing the lead, they'll be on the ice. So that usually tells you that they can play in any situation.
It's pretty normal for you to have a conversation with players after practices, but when you have a long conversation with Bergie, who initiates that? Is that something you do?
That was me. I wanted to know how it went the other night. We used about pretty much everyone in the playbook on his right side. So is there a guy out there that he thinks might find chemistry? Because, you know, we switched the other night. We've talked about it. We will at some point. So it might be Saturday if we don't like the production we're getting, or if we see a better matchup, or et cetera. So I asked him basically that. You know, who's a fit? Who's a guy that, you know, you saw us, you know, mesh with you guys, et cetera. I mean, we have our eyes, but he's the one playing. So that's what that was about.
Historically, right shots, left shots, entry level, and guys at the end of the line, did play with everybody, and that person has flourished.
I agree with that. I think those guys are world-class players. Marshy, and I think they've pulled Pasta along, but Pasta was no slouch when he came to this league either. He was a first-round pick with plenty of talent that learned to play the right way in a hurry. I think that's a credit to Bergie and Marsh, but it's also a credit to David, you know, that he understood where he wanted to get. He still wants to get there. So, but yes, you know, we've put more younger guys on there because I think we're trying to take advantage of having that big brother or mentor. I mean, So that's been our way of thinking. We also use David Backus there at times because we needed a heavier body. So I think for us, it's who's the best fit. We certainly value their opinion on that.
Last one for
So,
Porter.
growing up, was street hockey, pond hockey a part of your entertainment, or was it part of your development as a player?
Every day of my life, I was on the street, and Coldray Avenue in Ottawa. You know, I always hoped to get a new net at Christmas, get it. My brother was a year and a half older, he was the goalie, thank God. I had to drag all his crap up from the basement, that was the deal, but, no, we played all the time. We had in the winter, some of the street would freeze every once in a while, or snow over it, so you'd have the nets would be the boulders of snow. In the summer, it was, you know, the real nets out there, or throw a half. I think it wasn't unique to our neighborhood anyway. We used to play against different streets in the neighborhood. We'd have whatever 8 or 10 kids that our team would walk through blocks and play at the school. So I don't see it as much anymore. Here in New England, I see a lot of nets in the driveways. I see a lot of that, but I don't see a lot of actual games. Maybe I'm not driving down dead-end streets enough, but so I was encouraged when I first moved here. There was a net almost in every second driveway. I thought that was awesome. So it's still relevant.
Thanks, everyone. Welcome up,